I am Mikael Åkerfeldt, which is the Swedish way to pronounce my name, and I'm the lead singer and guitar player of Opeth.
My name is Peter Lindgren. I play the guitar.
My name is Martin Mendes and I play bass.
My name is Per and I play keyboards.
My name is Martin and I play drums in Opeth.
Now, I'd also like to ask you about a certain person called Eric.
Eric isn't here right now, but it's maybe coming out later in the...
Is Eric your darker side?
Not darker maybe, but some people look at it that way. But Eric is doing stuff that Martin doesn't dare to do.
So Eric's the guy that you lay all the blame at when okay, fair enough.
I guess the best thing about being in Opeth is that I write the songs so I get most money. It's a lifelong dream for me to be in a band and to tour the world, I guess, and it's I love playing music and I love writing songs, but it's really hard to say what's the best thing. It all differs. Sometimes it's a curse being the songwriter because everybody expects you to write the stuff, and sometimes when you come up with these things that you think is amazing, it's you feel like, wow, this is fantastic.
Well, obviously I'm in it for the music, but so that's a good thing. Obviously, I like the music, but also we tour a lot, which is a good thing because you get to see a lot of places and that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. So touring is probably a good part of it.
What for you is the best part of being in Opeth?
It's really hard to say, but I don't know. I really enjoy the whole career. Actually, with Opeth, it's really fun. But I don't know. It's like I like to play live. That's the best thing in the band.
The thrill of the crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing is to be with 4 other guys that enjoy music as much that I do. I think it's a.
And are all those 4 guys in the band?
Yeah.
Just thought I'd check with the whole Eric thing. What for you is the best part of being in Opeth?
Well, it's obviously playing music that you like. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. For you, what's going to be the hardest part? I suppose touring must take out of you as well, eh?
Well, touring is probably the answer to that too, because you're never home. The good thing about that is probably that being home is great, but I never see home. So, it's like it's got its good side and its bad sides.
I guess it's recording. I don't like to record. It's too much stress. But I mean, I love to hear the albums afterwards, man.
What do you think's so difficult about recording? Is it being in like that one space for a long time, or?
I guess it's because we never rehearse, and it's kind of tough on the studio.
I think it's the same for every guy or girl who's in a touring band is, I guess, the waiting.
Yeah. Hanging about.
Yeah.
Airports?
Not a favorite place to be, really.
No, at all.
No.
Have you got a favourite airport?
Not really.
You've never been asked that before, have you?
No, it's kind of a strange question.
It's fun to tour and everything, but it's maybe to not be home very much. But it's a price that you have to pay.
So there are times where you think it gets close to not being worth it, or does it never come that close?
I think it's absolutely worth it, but it can be hard sometimes, and it's often the most part is fun.
But is that also then the worst part then of being in the band as well? Like you said, a kind of pressure coming in. What's that like?
Well, it's become a pressure, because we've been doing this band. I've been in this band for 16 years. Put out 8 records, and all our records that we ever put out has got great reviews and all that stuff. I try to not think too much about it, but somewhere in the background there is a certain amount of pressure that I want to come up with something. I think for myself, come up with something that I think, well, this is really good. This is worthy of being called Opeth, I guess. Yeah.
Right, and with me I have Opeth. Guys, thanks very much for chatting to me. I appreciate that. Cheers for coming down. Right, well, first thing I want to say, obviously, Ghost Referees tours taking you worldwide. It's the third time you've been to UK in this cycle,
Yeah.
And you obviously the venues have been going up and up. What's that been like stepping up? So it's like kind of 2,000 plus. Has that been like quite a good feeling? What's that been like?
Well, it's obviously better to play bigger venues every time rather than the opposite. You know?
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it would be going down, it wouldn't be so fun to come back.
Does it make a big difference though? They like two guys like playing the different size arenas at a different kind of gig all round. What do you reckon, Michael?
What?
But is it like a different kind of feeling like for a smaller gig, or does it not matter what size venues you do? Or
Well, I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We're always going to try and play as good as we can, and, you know, rock it, you know. But I think because, like, for instance, the last time we did a US tour, we played like big arenas, and that you feel isolated, you know. So I prefer playing, say, this size venue as opposed to big arenas.
Yeah.
And we all like playing small pubs and that kind of stuff because it always ends up great. You know, we played a Mexican restaurant somewhere in like Little Rock or whatever it was, and it was fantastic. You know?
they say that's where rock belongs, either in the pubs or the stadiums. There's like no in between apparently.
Yeah, I guess.
But like for you guys, I mean, what you mentioned obviously the US and stuff there. Then what has been like it's been a worldwide tour. What's been your kind of favourite countries that you've seen? Have you all got like kind of different favourites? What about yourself?
Australia, I like Australia. That's
How come? What was the
well,
difference?
it's a great climate to start with. You know, it's not
Yeah.
freezing cold. But
Sorry, man.
it's the same in Sweden, so
Yeah.
we're used to it. But I think crowds are good and the shows are good. You know,
Excellent.
it's always a blast.
What about yourself, man?
The shows used to be always the same. It's just besides the show, I mean the weight, you know,
Yeah,
and stuff. So of course Australia is nice. You can go to the beach or whatever.
Australia's winning here, hands down. I'm not liking this. What about yourself, man?
Well, I gotta say Australia. I spent my honeymoon there. I love Australia. I'm gonna fucking move there. But we don't mind. I like playing in Stockholm because I can go home.
Okay, we're not doing great here, UK fans. That's how we go again. What about yourself, man?
London.
My favorite is the UK. It's best crowd,
Just said you hate
best,
to the UK.
best venues, best facilities, backstage.
Yeah,
I
just
think we
like-
all agree on that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And yourself, man?
Australia and New Zealand, I think, for me. Yeah.
Excellent, guys. Well, obviously this DVD goes on sale in Australia almost immediately.
Yeah.
But like, so it's been a kind of fantastic. Your fans are quite dedicated fans. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you've been able to hold on to them through like kind of different album sounds as well? But the fans have kind of stuck with you. Why do you think that is? It's a mouthful, that
We
question,
have
isn't
some
it?
kind of cool, honesty about what we're doing. I think people can see that.
Yeah. Do you think there's something that kind of transcends all the albums that have kept people coming back for more, really?
Well, I like to think that there's a quality to our music, you know, and it's taken us a long time and a lot of hard work to get where we're at. Not like we're big rock stars or anything, but it's been a definite, you know, step up for us the last couple of years, and it all comes down to touring, I guess, and also for the record label's been behind us.
Yeah.
You know, ever since our first record label, I guess, you know, and I guess we gained, you know, more and more fans with each new album, and I think they stick around for some reason, you know. It's not like even though there's been a certain amount of hype around this band, it hasn't affected the fan base in that sense that all of a sudden we're big and then we're nobody cares. It's always been a gradual increase in the amount of fans and our success, I guess.
So what do you kind of feel like, obviously because you did the cover of Deep Purple as well with the album, what was the idea behind that then?
Well, I think it was my idea to do that cover. I always loved that song so much, you know, and I think all of us are big fans of Deep Purple, and it's a bit, you know, I guess a bit odd to play the Purple song and choose that era with David Coverdale.
Yeah.
But, you know, I love everything with Deep Purple, but that song is just one of the most beautiful rock ballads ever written, and I don't think we do it justice, really, you know, but we still, you know, wanted to record that song. We recorded it like a couple of years back, but it never ended up on the record, so now we recorded it again, and we've been playing it live, and, you know, I just love it.
It's also the only song that we know.
Well, that's a good excuse as well. No, but like, how do you feel your style kind of is now? Like you said, it's sort of the 8th album through. Do you feel like your sort of style's coming to a kind of forefront of where you want to be? Obviously, you've been there yourself from the start, and like, do you feel now like with the kind of time signature changes, the kind of syncopation that you're going for, do you feel like you're really starting to this is actually where we wanted to get to?
I think we were pretty confident, like when we did the first album. We found our sound or whatever, you know, but we didn't really have a career, you know. It was just a dream that, you know, we were all, I guess, musicians, but we couldn't spend all our time on being a musician because there was no work for us. There was no tours or no gigs or anything. So that's, I think, where we're at now is ideal for us, and maybe slightly a bit too much as well, because we're working all the time, you know. I think we're one of the hardest working metal bands out there. You know, we keep looking at like what Iron Maiden did, you know, for say the Power Slave tour, and it's nothing like what we're doing.
No.
Yeah, it's
and
so
they've
easy.
got such a reputation as well for like being constantly
hard
on tour.
touring band, and obviously they've been around for a long time, but they did like 4 shows, and that was like 4 shows in a row and then like 2 days off or whatever. We do, I think we did like 16 shows in a row.
Right.
And we play for a long time. We play 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes we play 3 hours, you know. So
did you feel like going if you see him, oi, Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
Settle down.
Yeah,
What the hell do you
exactly.
think you're playing at? Well, guys, it's obviously all
Lazy
going
bastard.
fantastically well, but obviously any plans in for a new album in 2007? Anything planned?
Well, it's started. We're gonna, you know, by Christmas we've been out for I think almost 19 months. So we're gonna start with a break, you know, and then just get our shit together basically. But you know, there's gonna be an album,
right?
Eventually.
Just a break just now, then, yeah. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, well, it's important, you know. I'm quite happy. We haven't had any big arguments or fights within the band. We get along really well, and it's quite amazing since we've been out for such a long time. But we definitely need a break, you know. I think all of us need to do something else. He needs to go fishing, and he needs to whatever, you know. It's like everybody has, you know, their own private lives, which have been put on hold for almost 2 years now. Yeah. And we need to go back. I have a daughter, you know, and a wife, and you know, we all have girlfriends pretty much with.
Inside information there, man. What's going on there? Well, I think you all deserve a break, especially Martin, or should I say Eric, because he hit my microphone before we came in. I was like, what's going on?
No, it's Eric.
But guys, that was Eric. That one. You're blaming it on him. Guys, thank you very much for chatting to us, and good luck. Cheers for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.